Hey everybody, Jeff Ritter here, coming to you from my teaching studio at the Ping Learning Center in Tempe, Arizona. Here with another Golf Academy sample lesson. And today's lesson is all about revealing what your potential is and understanding how communication is really the key to good coaching. When most people come in here, a lot of times they're playing with ideas that are actually pretty good. But for some reason, one way or the other, they're not able to make the changes that they'd like to make. So here we got a gentleman on the right-hand side of the screen, and he came in to me today, and he basically told me that he's always had the same problems with the swing, and no matter what he does, he cannot seem to change them. So I'll just draw a little line here for swing plane. And what we're referring to is the sequence from backswing to downswing. So in his backswing, the first thing he remarked was the fact that his club face gets extremely closed. He knows that his left wrist gets too bowed, and he knows that his backswing gets too flat. From here, as he gets up to the top, you can see how closed the club face is. You can see how bowed the wrist is, and of course you can see how the downswing comes down over top of the backswing. He hits a lot of pull hooks to the left. When he finds a way to shallow out his impact through manipulating his club face, he can also hit some pretty high fades. His follow-through is always up and down. And he always puts a lot of pressure onto his low back. So this gentleman came to me from outside of Arizona, like a lot of my clients do. And before I even got to what I wanted to do with him, he explained perfectly to a T out on the range what all of his problems were. So as he communicated to me outside, I watched a few shots, came back and we put them on film, and I said, "You're right. You do exactly as you described on pretty much all of your shots." The problem is, he hasn't been able to change it. He's been working really hard at it. So one of the things that you do as a coach is you start asking people questions, and you try and get into their minds as to what their intentions are, and also maybe what they're already good at. And he told me that he was actually a very good baseball player, actually an excellent hitter. So basically, I'm looking at his swing, and I tell him flat out that he already knows how to do exactly what he needs to do in order to change his swing. He just hasn't tapped into it. So what I did is I walked in front of the video over here on the left-hand side, and I told him that we're going to play a little baseball. So in baseball, one thing you commonly see is you'll see a player go ahead and tap their bat right down on home plate. Once they tap the ball on home plate with the left hand, they'll usually lift the bat straight up over their shoulder as they get ready to hit. Now as I'm doing this, you can see how my left wrist hinges up. My left wrist stays very, very cupped or indented inwards. Once the batter gets to the top and starts to unwind into the hit, the downswing will actually flatten out, come in shallower than the backswing, just like so. Then of course into the follow-through, the baseball player will swing very much around his body into the finish. So I said, tap the ground, pick it up over your shoulder, and hit a home run for me, just like that. And this is literally 10 minutes into the lesson. I put myself on video. I said, this is what I want you to do. Tap the ground, over your shoulder, hit a home run. So what he does, he walks up, taps the ground, over his shoulder, and he swings on through. And now look at the difference in the swing shape from before to after. So if we go back over here, here's his before swing, and we'll draw these lines again to approximate where his shaft plane would be. So before, of course, you can see how he swings very much inside and closed. Look at that left wrist. Now all he's doing right here is he's tapping the ground. He's lifting his bat up just like he's done thousands of times in baseball. See how the wrist is more cupped? He's up over his shoulder. Look at the difference in the left wrist. Look at the difference in the club face. Look at the difference in the downswing transition. Right on plane versus over the plane and closed. Right on back around his body into the follow-through. Huge difference. Watch these in regular speed again. There's the before. And here we are with the after. You gotta keep in mind, this is literally occurring on the very first swing that I asked him to make. I recognized what was happening. I know he had an issue on how to use his hands and arms effectively. I knew that he was a good baseball player, and I knew as a coach that he already knew how to make the right move. He just didn't connect it to his golf. So this is what we did. Tap the ground, lift your bat, hit a home run. So here we are towards the end of our golf lesson. There we are. And now we got a ball. Tap home plate, up over your shoulder, hit a home run. Let's slow this down here. Tap home plate, up over your shoulder, hit a home run. So he was able to change with basically one simple idea, one thought, one piece of communication that resonated 100% with something that he already knew how to do. And he was able to save himself from another day of struggle as related to his golf swing. So when somebody comes in for a golf lesson, and they're taking this golf club over here, and they're lifting it up over here, and they're coming down over here, and finishing up there, and they say, I care about my game, why can't I change it? For me, it's not a matter of if they can. It's a matter of what they have to consider in their mind from a philosophical point of view, a communicative point of view, in order to make this swing that they're capable of a reality. So my number one goal in coaching is to make a big change fast and to reveal to the student very quickly what they're capable of doing. And that's why I love coaching so much, because it's all about creating, it's all about possibility, it's all about showing people that they definitely can do this, and they can do this extremely well if the information is accurate. So that's today's lesson. It's all about communication. It's all about finding good coaching. And I truly believe that anybody can improve and improve absolutely immediately. And I would expect that absolutely immediately if they have good information and a good communication process with their coach. So again, I'm Jeff Ritter, jeffrittergolf.com. For those of you who have iPhones, I just released a brand new free iPhone app. It's available now in the iTunes store. So go to iTunes, search Jeff Ritter Golf, and check it out today.